My dear respected football fans, KlarseSport Podcast, myself, Mr. Klarse, and I'm joined by a good friend of mine, Chevy. And today's podcast will be discussing the greatest European imports to grace the Premier League. Chev, what's your view?
Yeah, Mr. Klarse, thanks for having me back. Obviously, this is an interesting one. Obviously, we're all deep down in lockdown, quarantine, trying to follow the government measures and that. So this is a bit different to how we normally do it, but hopefully this will be fine. But yeah, let's jump in. Top 10 European outfield players. The goalkeepers are being disregarded. Again, we're just kind of following off from what the BBC have been doing with their top 10 lists and having our go at it. So, shall I just go in from the top 10 they picked from?
Yeah, please do.
So they was given the list by the commentators as normal of their 10 outfield European players. So in their list, they've had, and I won't do in order, but I will say they're number one because I don't want to mess up anyone's order because obviously Wrighty did his, Shearer did his, and Gary was just facilitating. But they had Ronaldo, Bergkamp, Company, Silva, Hazard, Kante, Cantona, Vieira, Henry and Keane. And yes, the last one I said, Roy Keane. Roy Keane was voted by Shearer and by Ian Wright as their number one European player in the Premiership, Roy Keane. So that gave a bit of a debate for them to discuss, which I think Gary rightly pushed back on. But yeah, it's an interesting top 10. I think there's a lot of names on there that a couple you could argue about, but I think the majority are pretty sound. Class, we've obviously done ours. So do you want to jump in with your 10 to 6? I'll do my 10 to 6, or maybe my top 10, and then you do your 5 to 1. But go, you jump in.
No problem. All right, so for me, at number 10, have to be Ruud van Nistelrooy. I think he was a great striker. Very much fox in the box. He could take on the odd man here and there, but was a good goal scorer. Got the Golden Boot, the Premier League Golden Boot, more than once. Turned up in big games. He done his thing. So for me, definitely number 10 will be Van Nistelrooy. Number 9 may come as a shock to a lot of people, but I have to put Yab Stam because
he was a rock. Stam was a rock. In there.
Man,
he was a beast.
An absolute rock, beast of a player. I remember watching Stam on TV and opposition strikers just didn't want to come up against him. He was like a brick wall. You couldn't get round him. He was just vicious.
Intimidating factor. So you wouldn't want to bump into him down a dark alley.
No way. So Yab Stam, and what he achieved in that 3 years as well, he achieved everything in 3 years, or 3.5, 4 years, whatever. But he achieved a lot in a short time. So he's definitely going number 9 for me. Number 8 would have to be Roy Keane. Obviously, we know he's one of the greatest captains of all time, and always fit, always a rock for other players as well. Always up for the fight, up for the battle. I don't understand why they put him so high up, but definitely number 8 for me, Keane. He was always fit and always ready for a battle. Number 7, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know probably some people think why ain't he higher up, but for the simple fact he's been in the Premier League for a good amount of seasons, and I only feel that he only really gave us 3 great seasons, which were great seasons, as I say, but that's the only reason why he's going 7. But he done fantastic when he was here. And number 6 for me has to be Patrice Evra.
Wait, who?
Number 6, Patrice Evra.
Evra,
yeah,
okay.
100%. Because the way I look at it is like this. When United had Dennis Irwin, obviously
Owen,
one of my greatest fullbacks of all time.
I know you love him. You love Owen.
Yeah, Owen's top dog, man. And when he left and Evra came in, I remember looking at Evra thinking, "Come on, man, is this guy really going to fill Owen's shoes?" And he actually did. And for the simple fact that he had actually played with not the great players that Irwin played with. I'm not saying he didn't play with great players, but not to the level of the Cantonars or them kind of people. And he came in, held his own. He was always fit. I never remember ever being injured and unfit. And he played so much games and held his own. He was so good at attacking and defending. And he was the only person up to this day that rivaled Ashley Cole. So for me, he's got to be 6th place. So that's my 10 to 6.
All right. So just run it back. You've got at 10,
Van Nistelrooy,
9,
Stam,
8,
Keane,
7,
Ronaldo,
6,
Evra.
Okay. That's all right. Solid list. Before I reveal my 10 to 6, I'm just gonna say a special mention to a couple men that didn't make my top 10. So I'm gonna give a special mention to Makalele,
Come on.
to Hazard, to Cesc, to Vidic, to Ruud van Nistelrooy. I know you got him in there. Van Persie, Stam, you got him in there. And I'm gonna throw one left field. I know you got mixed views on him, but I think a couple other names mentioned in the BBC and coming up in mine, I think I have to put his name there, De Bruyne. I have to put Kevin De Bruyne in that. So he's a special those are special mentions that haven't made my top 10. But let me do it. The 10 to 6. I've got Kante. So I think what Kante did at Leicester was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like there was times when every time they played, people were saying, "Oh, is there two of him?" How his stamina, his fitness, strength and tackle. I protected Wes Morgan, and I can't remember the other centre back. Was it Hoof? You know what I mean? Protecting man like Wes Morgan and Robert Hoof. Like to do that, he might as well have been twins. He was solid, and then to leave Leicester and go to Chelsea and do the same thing there. I can't overlook that. Obviously, his role has now since changed a bit, where he's getting a bit more forward, which give him his due. He's not the best on the ball, but he's improving a lot and he's only getting better. But a credit to the man and character that he is, he's just got on with it. They've kept Jorginho sitting in front, but everyone knows Kante should be doing that. So Kante is my 10. 9, I've got Silva. Silva for me is one of the best players I've ever seen play live. And just the longevity that he's had in the Prem for the 10 years he's been here, the trophies he's won, I think 4 Premier League titles, and the amount of assists he's got in that time as well, in the appearances, I can't overlook that. So Silva's in there at 9. For me, his former teammate, Company at 8, captain of 4 Premier League titles at City, dominant figure, solid at the back, real talismanic. So he's my 8. 7, I've got Keane. Again, long stellar career in the Prem. We all know about Keane. The battles he had with Vieira coming up when we was growing up was unbelievable. The things we looked for, and he's just an all-round, consistently gave you a consistent 7 to 8 out of 10 all the time.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he was the leader and captain of arguably the greatest Premier League sides of all time. The amount of Premier Leagues those guys won, coming up, and he was the leader of that. No one could talk to Roy Keane, in terms of leadership. There's not many that can talk to him. So yes, he had his temper and he did a few madnesses, but what time it was. What he was getting with Keane, and what he was getting. Like, you put all the battles aside, he broke a man's leg on purpose, and he told him he was going to do it, and he did it. He took the red card, took the ban, and he said he'd win league titles, and he done it. So credit to him. And if you look at his international career, man left the pinnacle, left the World Cup, and said, why is this set up for Ireland not as good as what I get at United? We're the international team at the World Cup. The standards, where's the standards dropping? So for a man to turn his back like that, because his principles and his morals, everything that he does, not morals, but his principles of football, everything so high, he has to go on there for me.
Yeah, of course.
And then coming in at 6 is no other than Gianfranco Zola for me. Zola was a maestro on the ball. So the stuff he did and how he changed Chelsea before the Abramovich money came in, how he changed everything at the club, and he brought some real technical skill, one of the most technical players that ever graced the Premier League. So that's my number 6. So 10 to 6, Kante at 10, Silva at 9, Company at 8, Keane 7, and Zola at 6. So slightly different to yours, but we've all got the greats in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's quite a solid list. Very different from mine, but that's a very solid list, though.
We said 1 to 5. You gonna jump in with yours?
I'm gonna go 5 to 1.
5 to 1, sorry. 5 to 1. 5 to 1.
All right, so yeah, number 5 for me. No other but Dennis Bergkamp.
Yeah.
Like, listen, man. When it comes to technical ability and ball control, he has the best technical ability and ball control of all time. I mean, including Messi, Ronaldinho, anyone you want to put there. When it comes to ball control alone, he is the greatest when it comes to ball control. Let me just put that out there. He brought flair to the Premier League, because obviously for guys like us, we were watching Serie A, so it's nothing new to us. But for the people that, like a lot of British fans that only saw Premier League, the things that Bergkamp done, I mean, like the Newcastle goal, do you know what I mean? Like there's many more goals that he scored, like where they're just 10 out of 10. The technical ability is amazing. He just made football look effortless. He just used to, like, he's the epitome of class, and that's just it. So he's definitely going number 5 for me. Number 4, no other but the manager Vidic. Like, I have to put Vidic in there. Like, for the simple fact is, look how many great centre backs United have had, but now him playing at Man United, he's now the best centre back they've ever had, or at least second after Rio.
Yeah.
However, whichever way you want to put it, and it's like,
I found it hard not to put him in mine.
yeah,
I find it hard not to. That's why I put him as a special mention, because he was close. I was fighting over him and another player, but I went with another player.
Yeah, like,
But
for him,
he's a legend.
For me, like, no doubt, he's the greatest foreign centre back to ever grace the Premier League. Like, for me, Company couldn't even clean his boots.
Well, I think that's a bit harsh, but I'll let you run with it.
I don't see no comparison. I think he's just levels above him, seriously.
Possibly.
Yeah, so Vidic, he was always fit, always done his thing. He's a bit reckless at times. He will get his red cards like Ramos, but you know what you're getting with Vidic. Like, he's no nonsense. The sort of defenders that we miss today, no nonsense. You know what I mean? So Vidic is definitely getting the full spot. The third spot for me, Thierry Henry. Most definitely. Like, Thierry Henry, like, Arsenal have never, ever, and will never get a replacement for that guy. I don't care how many years go past. Like, he is the epitome of Arsenal. Like, when you say Arsenal, you better say Henry straight after. Like, Henry, he had class, scored great goals. He turned up always in the North London derby. He annihilated Tottenham for fun. It was like, he made them like a Sunday League team. That's the best way to put it. Do you know what I mean? And he even done it to United. He annihilated them. Took the absolute mick out of Barthez. We all remember the goal he scored where he flicked it up. He done it to many teams. Henry's.
I've seen a lot of those being replayed now on Twitter on the creating the history of goals. Or whatever.
Yeah,
I see a lot of people doing that.
It has to be done.
Clips.
Henry is Golden Boot, Premier League Golden Boot, numerous amount of times. He's a boss. I don't think no one can really talk to Henry. The only reason why he ain't at number 1 for me, because I just got to put it out there, even though the Arsenal fans might not like this, but when it came to the big moments, like, although he stepped up in like the North London derbies, but the FA Cups and that, he didn't score, man. And for me, that's a big thing to me. As a striker, you've got to get these together, man.
I hear that. I think one of the FA Cups though, I think was it Honcho, Liverpool one, when Liverpool came back to Honcho unballed it on the line.
Yeah,
so, he did it twice. He got away with it. Wouldn't get away with it now with VAR, but I can't.
Because that's why he's third for me. Cool. Second for me, no doubt, Patrick Vieira, Big Pat. I'm not being rude, but like,
Big Pat.
We rate Kante, we rate Busquets, we rate all these kind of people. None of these people can clean the boots of Patrick Vieira, and I'll say that loud and proud. Like, no one can talk to him. Like, when it comes to a centre mid, a box to box, he is amazing. Like, Patrick Vieira, come on, man, he's the epitome of a centre mid. Like, even today, you can walk into any team now. Like, Patrick Vieira, the battles with Keane, as you said, spoken about previously, and as I said, Arsenal have never replaced Henry, but they will never ever replace Vieira. Never.
They've struggled ever since he left.
Yeah.
I think from the rumours I heard at the time of people I knew working though, he cried when he left.
There you
They
go.
had to go out the back door.
There you
At the
go.
back, they couldn't even go through the front. They had to ship him off through the back to Juve. He didn't even want to leave. But
Yeah, Big Pat was amazing, man.
Legend.
Box to box, could defend, could attack, could score the odd goal, could do his thing, wasn't as afraid of a tackle, could get nasty when it was needed. Big Pat, come on, undoubtedly, like, he deserves to be high up in this list. So he's number 2. And number 1 for me, has to be, who else? The bad boy of the Premier League, man. Eric Cantona. Has to be,
Eric's
man.
a boss. He was a boss.
Like, with Cantona, the thing is, he just went on the pitch, done what he wanted. You know what I mean? He had bad attitude, but he was so great that
he had the collars up. He had man running around in primary school and then ones there.
Do you know what I mean?
The collars up.
Come on. Like, he was just he just oozed like class. He just oozed class throughout. Like, he was just amazing to watch. He could link up. He could play with his back towards the goal. He scored amazing goals, proper technical ability goals. That's what I'm saying with big games as well. He scored in both the FA Cups that he won. And coming from Leeds as well, and winning the league with Leeds, the first division, it's like he just slotted straight in. Like, no nonsense with him. Like, you knew when Cantona was on the pitch, it was going to be a showcase. So Cantona, for me, amazing, man. Amazing. Like, the words can't explain how great that guy is. And it's quite sad that the young fans of today's day and age don't know how good he is. Like,
I blame the parents. If they're football kids, they should be knowing about these legends. So I blame the parents if they don't know. They should.
So Cantona for me, 100% number one. So I'm just going to run it through 5-1. Yeah. So 5, Dennis Bergkamp. Number 4, Vidic. Number 3, Thierry Henry. Number 2, Patrick Vieira. And number 1, Eric Cantona.
I respect that. I got mine's a bit similar. It's a bit similar, but you know it's different. You know how we are, class. So, alright. So my 5-1, Bergkamp, just like you. 5.
Yeah.
You know, you said you've touched it enough. You know what I mean? The touch he had.
Wow.
Oh, come on.
You
know, the goals he scored. You know, might not have been as frequent or quantity some of the others had. Other strikers in the Premier League, but the type of goals, you can't talk to the goals he scored.
Amazing.
You know, when you go back to the hat trick he scored against Leicester.
Oh, mate.
The goal against Newcastle. I think he came on and scored one of the last goals at Highbury. Like, this guy, he's just too.
Yeah.
You can't talk to Bergkamp. Bergkamp's just too much. He came and changed at that time when he came into the Prem.
Yeah.
He helped change the shift and the culture of football, not only in Arsenal but football in this country. So he's my 5. 4 is Ronaldo. You know, Ronaldo had 6 seasons. He came as an 18-year-old doing 25 step overs at one point, getting kicked up in the air or losing it or beating players. And it was just exciting from the jump. It was exciting, but then Fergie harnessed that, and for the last 3 seasons he was here in the Prem, he was unplayable. The amount of goals he scored, his productivity was unbelievable. So he's 4 for me. My 3rd, so my top 3 is the same as your top 3 in different order.
Okay.
just slightly. Right. It's slightly. So my number 3 is Cantona. So Cantona's my number 3.
All right.
The presence. You talk about presence of a man on a team, on a league, on opposition teams. His presence alone, the aura he had, was too much. Big player. Changed.
Phenomenal.
He was, him coming to United was the catalyst. Leaving Leeds, one of their rivals, going to United. He was a catalyst that kick-started their whole run of Premier League titles. So you've got to give him a lot of credit for that. And I think Leeds fans are still upset they let him go so cheap, especially to United. Number 2, Big Pat as well. My number 2, your number 2. Vieira. I loved Vieira as a kid growing up. I just loved him. I loved everything about him. Playing centre midfield as well. He's one of my heroes. The things that he did defensively, attackingly, linked up play. He was unplayable at times. Unplayable. And he had a bit of an edge to him. A bit of an edge. Some of you some people will know themselves a bit mouthy, a bit boisterous sometimes on the pitch. When you see your heroes doing it, you think you can do it. That's what these kids, that's what the kids are watching today as well. They see the heroes do things, you watch and you think, I want to do that. So, but kids' best behaviour, innit? You learn the hard way. But my number 1 is Thierry. Thierry Henry is my number 1 European best outfield player of all time.
He's a boss.
Bro, this guy, it's not even like one time you could say he ran from inside his half or picked up just inside the opposition's half and ran and beat 4 or 5 players and slotted it. There's many occasions you can do it. Volleys, chips, goals and assists, the skills, the speed. Like, he was just too much. And you remember, when he first come, it took him quite a little bit to adjust and score. And there was a few critics, but they stuck with him, and my gosh, the stuff he did is electrifying. There's Thierry Henry for me is one of those players that in any era, any generation, if you was picking your squad, not necessarily say a 1 to 11, but a 1 to 15 with subs and that in it, I think he would be in nearly everyone's 1 to 15 of players of all time.
Yeah,
Of all time.
I hear that.
Of all time. For me, personally, I don't think that whether you put him on the left or you put him down the middle, there's not many that could talk to Henry. So that's my 5 to 1. Bergkamp, Ronaldo, Cantona, Vieira, and Henry. So let's hear do it from 1 to 10. Let's hear your whole list.
Alright, so from 1 to 10. So at number 1, Cantona, 2, Vieira, 3, Henry, 4, Vidic, 5, Bergkamp, 6, Evra, 7, Ronaldo, 8, Keane, 9, Stam, 10, Van Nistelrooy.
All right, and then mine, 1 is Henry, 2 Vieira, 3 Cantona, 4 Ronaldo, 5 Bergkamp, 6 Solar, 7 Keane, 8 Company, 9 Silva, 10 Kante. So I think we both got some interesting lists. Hopefully the people out there will do like what we've done, jumped on the BBCs. They jump on ours and we'd like to hear their 1 to 10. See what they say.
So as far as your 10 and my 10, whose would you say was closest to the truth?
I'll say mine. Because you got man like Ever in there. I can't respect that. And you got Van Nistelrooy. As much as those legends are legends, I'm not going to fight with you over them, but you've got Ever. So I think that just rules out your list.
No, but listen, you've got to look at it like this.
Your list.
Apart from Ashley Cole, what other left back or fullback can even clean Evra's boots in the Premier League?
Dennis Irwin?
Yeah, Irwin. Come on.
I'm only joking. That's your guy.
That's my guy. You know that. But who could clean his boots when you actually look into it? That's why I've put Evra there. I think he deserves a mention.
No, he deserves a mention. You're right. He deserves a mention. I don't think he deserves top 10.
Because the reason why I've eliminated Silva from my list, because this is how I look at it. And not just with Silva, with all Spanish players. It always looks pretty. It looks silky. But when it comes to getting the job done, I feel that there's other midfielders that can actually step up and win games for you. They can dribble past 5 men, put it top corner, and these kind of things. Where with Spanish midfielders, I feel that it always looks pretty, but they all look like that. Thiago, Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, it always looks pretty to all of them. Isco, you name it, it always looks pretty. But it's like when you come to like getting the job done, going the extra mile above and beyond, that's when you get the Cruyffs, Zidanes, Platinis. They don't come there. Do you get what I mean? So that's why I'd rather put Evra than have a Silva. Not disrespecting Silva. I like Silva, but what did he do that Fabregas didn't do? Do you get what I'm coming with? Apart from he won trophies. Well, he won more trophies than Fabregas, and Fabregas.
I just think Silva, his movement on the ball, his movement off the ball, his touch, his passing, his link up play. All right, you could argue maybe he should have scored some more goals in his time, but I think his goal. I don't know it, but I think his goal record's quite decent. But he scored some bangers in there and important goals. I think, he's been one of the 10 years that he's been there, and City have won the Premier League 4 times. He's been pivotal with each of those 4 Premier League winning teams. So I think for me, he has to be in there.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I hear that, but then my number one question to you before we leave: take out Silva. Is he needed in Man City's team if Yaya fit?
Yeah.
You sure?
What, you don't think? I'm not saying that they played together, innit? They played together. It's never ever been, do you pick Yaya or do you pick Silva?
But I don't think he's needed that much. I just feel it's a silky pass here and there. I don't actually feel he's actually needed.
I think watch some games back, do some research. You'll see he's needed, bro.
All right. Cool.